Jacob Schaffert,
Yes.
glad to have you. Stanford University, you're the lead architect for a net zero energy residential home.
Yes. A net zero energy home is a home that produces as much or more energy than it uses over the course of a year. For kind of a standard home, you're thinking about, how can I have the most efficient hot water? How can I have the most efficient lights? How can I have the most efficient, air conditioning and air handling system for a home? One of the things that we're doing is we're trying to take all the systems and package them together and make it a little bit easier for users. So we have the idea of the core, and that has all of the major MEP, which is the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems of the house, bundled in, kind of pre-packaged in a manufactured setting.
So this is a manufactured unit.
Exactly.
And what's the benefits of that?
The benefits of that is you eliminate kind of on-site labor costs, which are one of the biggest cost drivers for custom homes.
Sure.
But also you get a lot of package efficiencies that you have with manufacturing, and then you're also reducing the overall cost of the unit, not just by labor, but by parts, by having the efficiency of the manufacturing process.
And the quality control of that.
Exactly, and the quality control. Instead of having, who knows, assemble it, and Lord knows where, you have, in a controlled manufactured setting, professionals who are doing, a bunch of the same unit, put it together, which maintains a really high level of quality.
Right. But does this limit you to just one size house if you were mass producing a core?
If we went into kind of industrial production, we would probably have multiple lines, of course, some for small homes with a single bathroom, others with split bathrooms for a larger family. And then I think we had ideas for a multi-storied one for a more vertical application.
Is this also a manufactured home, or do you can you take your core and build it a house around it?
So you could do both. The real idea is to market the core as a product that you could send anywhere and then have home builders or architects build a custom house around it.
What's the size of this net zero home?
So the home we designed is just under 1,000 square feet.
And it costs
$234,000.
So it's about 234 square foot.
The house is very tight, and the insulation value is pretty good.
And what kind of HVAC system do you have?
So instead of a standard forced air system, we have a zone-controlled mini-split, and that's a reversible heat pump. So we run a refrigerant line to it, and then it filters the air in that room, either heating or cooling it. And they all run off of a compressor from the core. But instead of trying to understand the house as a single thermostat set point, it breaks up the house into smaller thermal comfort zones, and that allows more kind of on-demand heating. It's a little bit more expensive than your standard forced air unit, but you don't have to install ducts. It makes additions to your house or renovations a lot easier, because all you have to do is add a mini split and run a refrigerant line. Natural lighting is really important in reducing the kind of plug loads that your house has. We have a really generous northern clerestory window system that we have put in, and then a lot of shaded southern glazing. And what that adds is a really balanced level of natural light throughout the day in the house, and you really don't need to turn on any artificial lights until the evening. When you have to start to rely on those systems, we have a mostly LED and partially compact fluorescent system. The actual control over the light, we have something we're calling the room switch. Instead of a standard light switch for the house, we have a little haptic touchpad, and
That's cool.
we wanted, kind of a one-stop control system for all of this. So with single finger gestures, I can control the zoned lighting for that room switch. With two fingers, I can actually open and close the operable clerestory for increased ventilation. I can control the fans in that room. We've got this little counterclockwise and clockwise swirling motion.
Right.
With a single three-finger swipe, I can turn off all the lights in the house and half of the sockets, which is pretty much...
Really?
Yeah. So I can turn off...
So you cut off the vampire load there.
Exactly.
This sounds like a real challenge for a team effort.
Yeah.
Right? Because this isn't like just a lighting guy comes in and gives you the lighting proposal or the HVAC.
Yeah.
What was the challenge of designing this and using a team concept?
The lighting strategy, you've got, architecture and structural engineers working together trying to make the passive, natural light system work. And then you've got your electrical engineers, your product designers, your behavioral specialists working together, along with computer scientists for the coding for the control system to make this whole room switch wizardry work properly.
Right.
So,
how'd you keep the cost down? And
if your home isn't affordable, it's not really accessible to the general market. We didn't want to use a lot of steel. A lot of modular homes that we've seen have a lot of steel erection in them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really expensive. So cutting as much metal out as possible is really important. We work with kind of local providers for the
Go
finishes
local.
around the car.
Yeah. Recycled materials?
Exactly. We have reclaimed redwood siding and decking that we use.
Good.
Also, our floors are reclaimed Douglas fir, and our
Mm-hmm.
interior wood trim details are also reclaimed fir. After you've kind of reduced all the necessary loads and you've cut your electricity as far as you can, then you add a solar system on top. I've been able to really make our net zero goal pretty easily.
Wow, fantastic. So cost effective,
Yeah.
net zero, and it looks pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.